What's up, y'all? Down South 77 here again, aka 3-Star Draw. Got a little bit different video than what I usually do today. For a little while I've been talking about I need to rearrange my room, my pit. That's what I call my toy room slash creation room, where I do most of my content, and I'm running out of room in there, and it's really hard trying to figure out how I'm going to put some other shelves and whatever else in there. I don't really know how I'm going to do it, but I've got a plan. But it's going to require another set of shelves. So if you look in the room, which I'm going to show you, I have 2 sets of 5 shelves. They're just cheap plastic shelves that I use. Bought them at Bargain Hunt for $36, like what you'd put out in your garage or whatever. Well, I paint those and put them together, and they look pretty good. I've got my Joe ones painted red, white, and blue. I have another set in the living room that you never see that is mostly for Indiana Jones, and I painted it brown with gold flake, kind of like, you know, treasure, whatever. But I've got to get another set of these shelves to house some of the stuff that I want in the room when I rearrange it. Now, my cousin Pop Blender's been trying to talk me into doing a room tour for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and do it before I have to move stuff around, even though there's not really that much to tour. It's just gonna be a quick little video around about what's in there now, and maybe what I plan on trying to do once I get it rearranged. It's gonna be cramped. And you're also gonna get to see what is a running joke among toy tubers, probably all content creators, is you only see what the camera wants you to see, because it's chaos on the floor and on the tables and shelves around us most of the time. You might actually get to see that before I go rearranging everything. It's going to be a tedious process, and I've been putting it off, but I'm at a point now getting some 1/12 vehicles and stuff. I've just got to do it and move some stuff around, show some other stuff off better, but I've really just got to find a way to make it all fit in there. But I wanted to show you what I'm doing with the new set of shelves. I am not doing the new set of these shelves in red, white, and blue, because these shelves are probably going to be mostly for other stuff. I think I got enough shelf space for my Joe stuff as long as I move some of the other stuff to the new shelf. So I wanted to do it in a different color, since it's mainly not going to house G.I. Joe stuff. So I was just going to show here what I'm doing, and I'm cheating big time on these shelves, and I'm really doing it for time because I want to try to get them finished today so I can start on this. Also, because it's Saturday and I don't want to get dressed and go to Walmart to buy more paint. Yeah, I know. Look, it's the weekend. I just don't want to go. I've got to look to see what color paint I had left that would maybe accomplish what I want to accomplish. And I had a can and a half of one that I used on my very first diorama that I built. That's a big brick wall, clay wall, like a brownstone. So I was going to show you what I'm using. I like this Krylon Fusion 5X. I use this stuff for everything that I paint. Not that I paint a whole lot, and I can't really do like brush detail work. I'm trying to learn how to do that, but that's a process. But I can rattle can the hell out of some stuff. So this is what I'm using. This is the satin brick of the Krylon 5X. This stuff bonds to anything. It's like a paint and primer together. So you really don't have to go back. You don't really have to prime it unless it's really rough. And then you don't have to prime it and then go back and paint it. It's the whole thing all in one. Now my Joe shelves I have cleared. They're really bright, really glossy. I'm not sure if I'm going to clear these. If I do, I'm going to do it with a matte clear. I don't know. I kind of like the way these look without clearing them. So the way these come out, what I'm doing with these is doing them this way and out here painting. It's actually kind of drizzling today. Not really a good day to paint. That's the reason I don't want to do a whole lot of it. So I'm kind of cheating with these. I'm not going to do the back sides of these, and I'm not going to do the bottoms. It's a whole lot of work, and it's a lot of money in paint if you want to get it all covered. And with these shelves, I do kind of want this one rough. So I'm doing the sides and the top and the front, which is what you will see, so it kind of looks like a terracotta. That's another reason I don't really want to clear them, is I want them to have kind of an older terracotta look. And these I probably am also going to attach some of my stickers and various items from friends that they've sent me to. So I don't really want to clear them, because again, they don't have to match the Joe stuff. There's some other paint that I got sitting out here. This is my trailer, by the way, that I haul my lawnmower on. It's actually become a paint platform. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing with these new shelves. The holes here in these shelves, I come up with an idea that does make these shelves kind of heavy, but if you notice on my other shelves, the best, cheapest thing I have found for these shelves is peel and stick floor tiles for putting down a hardwood floor or a laminate floor. The peel and stick tiles that you can go buy, get a box of them at Home Depot for like 26 or 28 bucks. But I just cut those and lay them over the top, and then you have a flat surface, so you don't have to worry about your stuff falling in, or your figures. You know, your figures ain't gonna stand with all these holes. And of course, they get those stick tiles in all kinds of colors. The ones I buy look like marble, so it looks like a marble floor. And if I've got enough of them, I'm gonna go back with those on this set. But with this set, I may actually leave one of these open, because I plan on putting some vehicles on it, and this will hold the wheels better to keep them from maybe rolling or moving off the shelf. I don't know, we'll see. I gotta go look and see how many tiles I've got, because I'm not gonna go buy a box of tiles today either. All right, that's this portion. Oh wait, that's not all of this portion. I'm out here flipping these around. These are the supports that go between the shelves. I always paint these. These are really, really hard to paint. They're cylindrical. The best thing to use is if you have an old, like a paper towel holder, you know, that you can set on the counter, and put this on it and use it, and then just spin a little bit, and once it dries, flip it over, do the side that was on the bottom. That's the easiest way to do it. I don't have one of those, so I'll tell you what I do when I paint these things. I've got an old dog tie out cable for my dog that's got a bunch of kinks in it, so I've got it stretched out right there. So I just unclip one end of it and slide them down and go through and paint them, and then let it dry, and then rotate them and paint it. And that is also a tedious process, but that was the best way I had to do it, because when I started on it, I didn't really think about the paper towel holder idea until I'd already painted one set of shelves, and I was like, meh, that worked. You do use a lot more paint when you do it that way. But anyway, these, I think, just for the aesthetics of this shelf and the fact that I can't get these things painted the way I do it today because it is raining, I'm going to leave these black. As I said, I want this set of shelves to stand out from the others. So here are the panels that I use. So I'm up to this stage now. I got them all painted, got them brought inside. Of course, it started raining today while they were out there drying, but they were dry enough. Didn't mess the paint up. They were plenty dry. So here's the stick-on tiles that I was talking about. I got these at just Home Depot, and I've actually seen these at like Bargain Hunt or Ollie's, one of the two. You just get you some stick-on floor tiles and go over here, and I've got some done already. They don't cover the whole thing, but I like to have the backs open. That way, if you need to run cords through them or something, if you're gonna put some lights on them. But so this is how it come out. Now this tile that I do have looks much better with the blue and the red for the Joe shelves. It's pretty stark contrast, but that's kind of what I wanted with these. I wanted these to really stand apart from the other stuff. So I'm going to go back over and just peel the tiles and stick them down, and you do have to have one to cut, so you'll have to measure and cut a tile a couple of times to fill in this spot. So that's not fun because I can't cut straight, but not all that hard. Alright, got them all painted, got the tops on there. Did have a little bit of more trouble than what I usually do getting the tops cut, getting the floor tile cut, but it's only because my razor blade's really dull, so I had to trim some. And I got little slivers of floor adhesive sticky tile everywhere, so I had to use trusty Goo Gone, wipe all of these down with. You gotta be careful with this stuff because this paint is fresh and you don't want to rub Goo Gone on freshly sprayed surfaces. So I've got them ready to put together, and I can already tell you guys now I'm not gonna be really happy with them when they're finished, because I have to put the spacers in and I'm not gonna like that contrast. So I didn't paint these. I didn't want to paint them. I wanted to leave these kind of unfinished, and I do not like the contrast of the black and the red brick and then the white marble look at all. But I did want a set of shelves that look completely different, and I guess I have a set of shelves that look completely different to put completely different stuff on there. So okay, there they are. All right, I'll show you the parts of the room that you never get to see, and we'll go walk through the stuff that I have crammed in here before I have to move it around. So as you can see, there's my sign. The pit, that is what this room is called. So you walk in the door, and I have my signed Josh Blaylock Zania card art, and then it's got some reactions. Remember that old Dollar General red ninja? And then you go in, got some more reactions. It's my Brockhor Jr. 9/11 print that he did in 2002 commemorating the 9/11 attacks. Fun school scrap iron. And then up here, thought that'd be a good part to good place to put card art for the retros. And I think I might actually put the retros up there when I move stuff around. I don't think all of it's gonna fit, and I won't have that neat looking gap between them all because it's all gonna be bunched up together. And there's my smoke detector. Found this at a yard sale a few years ago. This is a G.I. Joe sleeping bag. Was not mine. I did wash it. I found it at a yard sale. I washed it. So I just got to kind of got it rolled up like a bedroll there, and hung on my closet door for this closet. So here's kind of what you guys don't really see. This is my light that I turn on for my green light. You know, I like to have my green light, so sometimes I'll turn that bulb on when I'm streaming. With this cool print that Pop Blender got me, Baroness and Destro, and then Ron Rudat signed Cobra Commander, 2 reaction Cobra Commanders. Got the 3D Joe's prints. I bought the all-in for them, and that was the first thing I put up in this room. Little did I know I was gonna have to move stuff around and cover a bunch of them up. My finest Sergeant Slaughter vs. Bats print. Got that at Joe Fest from the finest. And over there is Wild Bill V2 carded. and my signed Rudat Wild Bill. There's the Defiant, 3D Joes. And I'm going around trying to show you not all of the clutter first. So right here is above where I sit when I do my reviews. More 3D Joes posters because they're so awesome. I put all of them in there at the top of my review area that you guys see from time to time. Yet more 3D Joes posters. And then there's my Reaction, Python Patrol, Destro Baroness, and CC. And up here at the top, I got these little shelves that I got at like, oh, I don't know where I got those, like Bargain Hunt or something. And I just painted them. So I've got the 25th anniversary figures that I have remaining up there. And back there, yet more 3D Joe's prints. And the top of the cabinet that is behind me to my right that you guys see is box classifieds. These are all of the, most of the harder to get ones. So everything up here, the only thing up here that is not sealed, this is not sealed, this Master Disguise Zartan, I bought it. Oh, it was open for display, but he'd never been taken out of the tray. There is my 00 Snake Eyes, courtesy of Aaron the Toy Enhancer. And then this Sergeant Slaughter is empty. This is the one that's on my shelf, but this is the one that I had signed by Sarge. So we just keep going around the top of the cabinets here. This is my, all you really see here is the box for the Hiss stuff and the figures, and the Once a Man Coco box. And these guys here are sealed. I've got to get those open. That's the Tactician and the Gunner. All this other stuff is open on the shelf. And behind me, you guys are probably used to seeing a little bit of that. Yet more 3D Joes. And then at the top, back to where we started, sits the Omnibus. So we'll go down and start showing Joes. There goes my Desert Trooper dude, and of course he does rest on top of a can of Spam, and of course Spam, this is all in front of the vamp. Some steel cores. And I moved all this around. They were actually posed a little better like they were fighting, but and then there's my Hiss and my fire team, Hiss crew. And then there's this loser right here, but he does have the blue laser, so he's up there. You got Metalhead up there because he fits in with those guys, and I don't have any other Iron Grenadiers yet. So there is Techno Viper, baby. And there's my Ferret and my Scout. You got her, she's always striking a pose some way or another. And I got the wheel hanging off because why not? It's up against that cabinet. It's not going anywhere. So we'll go down. I like my Christmas lights, but I'm probably going to have to move them. And this cabinet was originally intended to be mostly for Cobras, but yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So still got my Cobra, my laser cut Cobras up there. So I got the riser tiers. And got Serpentor flanked by a couple of Night Creepers there. Then I do have some comics. Comics are cool to put in the background back there. I just almost knocked Supreme Cobra Commander off. So there's issue 1. There's a 155. There's 21 and 93 I've got out because that's when we finally see Snake Eyes face, of course. So we'll pan out on the other side here and got my Joes. And I just noticed at some point Scarlet fell. I had to pick Scarlet up. She got them crazy feet though. So I do have Desert Butterscotch Snake Eyes here with Stalker. Waiting on Retro Stalker. He's supposed to be here pretty soon. So just got some of my favorite Joes there on the tiers. And so there we go. There are those two shelves, and then we'll go down. And yeah, I do have them divided, Joes and Cobras, but the bottom shelf or the next shelf behind it, below it, I'll get it right in a minute, those are also divided too. So we'll go down to my blue shirts, and got a couple Valkyries there. I like my blue shirts. Blue shirts and bats are my favorite. And show these guys going down, and I have more comics behind it. There's my Devil's Due #1 that I had Josh Blaylock sign for me when I met him at Joe Fest, and then bats. And then we'll swap over to the Joe side. So they are catty corner the way I've got them in the cabinet. There's that dude. That's the best use I've found for him, is Happy Gilmore. And then Breaker barely stands, so he's in the back of the cabinet chugging a beer. Old Torpy back there, Torpedo. I almost called him the other end of his name. So there's my Kit Bash Steel Core dude. You got Doc. And then you got General Hawk. Got Sarge back there. And I do have the main command people on these little mirrored hexagons that I got at Walmart. And they're mirrored. You can stick them on stuff, but I think they make cool reflective stands. So go down to the next shelf, and got the Muscle. 3 of my favorite dudes right there. And then over here, got Night Force. Mutt Junkyard. Chilling, protecting the whole shelf in the middle. You got Helix and Baducci back there. I got the Ralph of Baducci. Then we get to the Cobra side on the bottom of this part. A couple Range Vipers, a Trouble Bubble, and a Telejeremy. And Flight Pod, got an eel. The other eel that I just showed on the top is my second eel. I've never opened him. Once I get the room opened up, I'll open him. Then over here we got these Viper 3-pack dudes. And I tell you that I do have lights up here. But when I did these lights, these are all battery operated push lights. And they do work by remote, but I've got about 8 remotes in here, and half of them work on the same frequency. So I wind up turning them on by accident, and they chew through batteries. So I don't have them on all that often. Takes 45 batteries to light the whole cabinet. And then I do have an LED strip back there that's plugged in, so that one I'll turn on sometimes. So here's my Crimson team. I'm not huge on Crimson guys, but I do put them all together because I like the aesthetic, even if the reds don't match. And more comics back there, just because need something in the bottom of the cabinet to kind of, you know, attract the eye and look cool for background. So I just grabbed some good issues of the comics. Go over here, we got Python Patrol. Said other than bats, I usually get 2 of each figure. And I've got 3 Vipers because I got one loose in a trade, so he's out. Back there is probably my most favorite thing in my G.I. Joe collection. My original copy of Revenge of Cobra on VHS with the giant box. That is the one that I used to actually rent when I was a kid. The actual tape that I used to rent from the video store. It went out of business and I got that tape. So we keep going over, and there is my miniature shrine to my boy Scrap Iron. Got him. This is the one that I take with me. The one at the top is not the one that I take. I grabbed this one. So I got his classified art and his original file card signed by Ron Rudat. So he has his own little cubby, and he probably always will. So we'll go down to the bottom of this cabinet, and this is kind of the catch-all cabinet where I put versions that I replace or guys that I don't really have anywhere to put yet. So we got Cobra Commander and Destro, because I do have Prophet Director on my shelf. So this Destro is so good, I gotta keep him up here, but he's just relegated to the bottom right now. There are Marauders. There's the Air Chariot, because I don't really need it up on the shelf, with the other version of Scarlet and 2 more versions of Snake Eyes. There's regular Shockwave, regular Beachhead, and then we do have Tiger Force down here on the bottom, because I'm not a huge Tiger Force fan, and I feel bad for the rest of them if I put Wreckage and the Paw further up on the shelf, because they are really good figures. Oh, and since I showed it, that's a sling box that I use for a doorstop. So there's that cabinet, and then I'm crawling around on the floor, so we'll go over to the next cabinet. And just kind of stuff that I want out, but I've moved around. There is his tank. There is the reissue his tank. The 3 dreadnoughts that my buddy Berserker's Brush gave me, those are the 25th anniversary. Got the weapons piled up. Got a water moccasin and copperhead, because they are my favorite. Diorama that I built many hours into that little snow cave. And the 3-pack reaction Cobra Escape. It's just sitting right down here for a minute because I needed to move some stuff down. So go up to that next shelf. There's a Fortnite boat, Crocmaster, Fiona, and Copperhead. There's my still in the box Crimson Strike team, because I really don't have a reason to open those guys at all. There's my graded 43, my favoriteest issue of G.I. Joe. And behind that, some homemade Dark Energon, and another diorama piece that I made when I got Tunnel Rat. It's a giant tunnel, got grate on it, and he can crawl. The tunnel goes all the way through. So then we see my mole rats surrounded by the Dark Energon. You got 3 regular guys that haven't been affected by the Dark Energon yet, and then there are the 2 that are, and then the other Trouble Bubble piloted by an Energon affected mole rat. And then of course down there on top of the Dark Energon, you gotta have a mole rat arm, because half of these guys right here, their arm falls off when I look at it. There's my sign that has nothing to do with G.I. Joe, but it seemed like a good spot to put it around the mole rats. Beef amazing, because I like flamingos. So we'll go up to the next shelf here. We got Quick Kick fighting a couple of Techno Viper baby, while Airborne repels in to give him some backup. And back there are my retro carded packaged figures that I have no intention of opening. You got the Cobra, the Last Laugh, and the box for Chuckles. And of course you've got Chuckles and Big Boa facing off, except this time his muse Jinx has come to give him a little bit of help. And then this is what I'll be saying come November. And then we'll go up to the next shelf. There's Viper 3-pack number 2. We got this 3D printed container with the crimson bat in it that opens. You can put whatever you in there, of course. Got a couple of red ninjas. Got my suited Tomax and Examot. And there's a scanner table and a chair that also go with this 3D printed set here. My Joe Monopoly, another one of my favorite possessions. Not rare, but damn, it's cool. There's Mickey Mouse, Cobra Commander, Storm Shadow, and Zartan. And of course, Dreadnoks gotta have their own little spot. So they're gonna need a bigger spot. We're gonna need a bigger shelf, mate. So they will get one whenever I can get stuff moved around. So let's see, we've seen the top of this cabinet. So we'll go down a shelf on this one. And this is kind of the catch-all Joe cabinet. It's my 3-0 Arctic Storm Shadow and Super 7 Bat, Cobra Commander, and Mezco Snake Eyes, Firefly, and Destro. And I said Snake Eyes because there's Super 7 Snake Eyes, Duke. Then we got Duster, my one Valaverse figure that was a gift from my buddy Jesse. And I got the old Painless set. Currently not on anybody. CoverGirl wore it for a while, but I gotta get it back on somebody. Then we got 3-0 Roadblock. And you go down to the next shelf and it starts getting dicey as far as where stuff's at. This is just the boxes for some of the stuff because it makes good backdrops. I do have my Stinger here because I don't have anywhere on the other shelves to put Stinger, and Once a Man Cobra Commander hanging out with Kingpin because that just kind of makes sense. And then over here we got Stinger number 2 and Ferret number 2 waiting on somewhere to call home. And we go down to this shelf, and this is winter diorama pieces that I made. A lot of time and work in these. Didn't exactly come out like I'd hoped, but passable. And of course behind that, another 3D Joe's poster. So I got a couple of Arctic Bats and another Snow Serpent. And Snow Job's just kind of skiing into all this going, oh shit. And then over there is just another section, couple sections, and my Casket of Cruelty from Super Action stuff, because that's where it wound up. And down here is just some extra pieces that I've got of for photo shoots and backdrops for stuff. It's my columns that you've seen me use, and those slate stone squares. That's what they look like, just all stacked up. Oh, so back up and try not to trip over everything. So this is what that looks like. Then we'll go over to the one that I do get asked about a lot that has not a thing G.I. Joe on it. And let's go down and take a look at the shelf. These are all of my skeleton guys, mostly Mythic Legions. And they're just all kind of hanging out. Scareglow and Skelegod are in there. Just kind of zoom out and get a look at all these dudes. And you got Headless Horseman back there keeping a watchful eye or watchful flame over everything. And a couple of obscure boxes because they stack and make really nice back panels. That's the insert for Headless Horseman. with the bridge. It's just too cool not to show off. And then you go over here, and here's my Obscuras. Red Death, Sun Wukong, Bastet, and Anubis, Krampus. Way back in the back there is Jacob Marley, and he's in the back because Jacob Marley does not stand. He has one really weak ankle and he falls all the time, and a couple of accessories have actually broken. So I've got him back there. He was standing last time I looked at him. Now he's leaning against the box. So that weak ankle has struck again. I'm going to replace him with the retailer one whenever it comes out. And then of course right here I've got the Hella Dope crates, and this is so I can reach up and use them for stuff in pictures. Go down one more shelf, and this is the trophy room, I call it. This is stuff that I've been sent or given by friends and subscribers. I put that stuff here because I like to see it. Stuff from a few different people there. My Waffle House hat from Aaron the Toy Enhancer that we swapped Waffle House hats and signed. Of course, I got Grumpy Bear back there, and there's Dracula. There's the Forgotten King. These guys are eagerly awaiting their painted counterparts. Then over here is just a mishmash of all the other cool stuff that I like. Got Vizzini holding the Maul Deuce, wearing a ball cap made by Model Misfit. My Delta 17s here. And they're being fronted by Captain Cutler and Lucky Bear. There's Lexion, the AWOT, and Turtles of Grayskull back there. Michael Myers back there keeping a watch on everything. And he's got Deadpool and John Nada in front of him. There's Alex Murphy. If only he knew what was going to happen to him if he intervenes in anything. And then, of course, we got McCready here, not giving a shit about any of it, pouring up a shot of scotch. And then we go down to the last shelf. And this is just a bunch of boxes and stuff that I have not had a chance to open yet. So another part of the reason that I want to rearrange is so I can get some of this stuff displayed. So I do have my Ecto 1 down there just because it's a good spot for it. I've still got my Ghostbusters Plasma guys back there. I've still got a couple of Turtles of Grayskull. I've got to get the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man Toy Enhancer. Got it for me at Joe Fest. I've got to get him out, but I got to have a Ghostbusters area to set him up with, so he's safer in the package right now. Same thing with this Super 7 Bluegrass figure, which is also from Toy Enhancer. So, I actually sat down in my chair there, so that's how all of this stuff flows together, if you want to call it that. And then we'll bring it back down to, this is my review table. You guys probably pretty familiar with seeing that site. Just got through at this time reviewing these guys. I don't know when I'll get around to editing this and putting it out, but it was whatever day I did this video was when I filmed it. And we got Theodore Sodcutter sitting up there. And then here is just what my setup looks like. Like I said, I got a bunch of remote controls. Oh. And down here, and of course, there's the tower. And then this is a box full of Joe comics. There's the trusty Con Air and a UV light that I just keep handy because, you know, you never know. So up here is just random stuff. Got mic, headphones. Right now I have this coffin from Dollar Tree over here. My little side table. And then below this is the part that I talked about that people don't ever want you to see. This is a crate where I keep, one of the crates I keep my extra blocks in that I actually have my ramen racer sitting on right now. There's a trunk full of paint for this room. Various stuff to set backgrounds up with. This is the stuff. This is the clutter nobody ever wants you to see. This is what they're talking about. More crates full of blocks and stuff like that. And then back here right now in the corner is I have my awesome fang glider from Berserker's Brush. And I've got it back there because I don't want anything to bump it while I'm in here moving stuff around. And I also haven't gotten around to painting the stand for it yet. And I only want to put the glider on this thing one more time. So I'm going to wait till I paint the stand. And then a trash can. And then the extra PC tower that I bought because I got a really good deal on it. And I don't have another monitor or VGA cable. So that will probably wind up going in here somewhere too for backup. So I'll pull it all back. My box fan running to mostly move air and try to blow dog hair back out of this room. And that's just the tote that I use when I travel with my Joes and take stuff out to do pictures with. So the room you guys always see me in is just a little 10 by 12 spare bedroom. Not much to it, but have had a couple people ask me about it, so there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick walkthrough.